welcome back. Um, I hope you're doing well and you've had a good day or are having a good day. It's been a good day for me, I would say. Um, the nice weather has kind of disappeared. So I've been wearing, even though I've been wearing a t-shirt and shorts all day, I have felt quite cold because the sun is gone, the nice warm temperature is gone. Um, yeah, it's a shame. I like the warmer weather, but I live in England, so I can't expect too much. Um, but yeah, it's been a good day. I What have I done? Well, not much, to be honest. I had a little bit of a late night last night because I was hanging out with some friends and we were chatting about various different things. Um, and then I had to wake up somewhat early this morning because I had to look after Luna today. And it's pretty standard. Like, nothing really interesting happened. Um, One thing that is maybe worth talking about, and a complete honest mistake on my behalf. I I ate breakfast kind of late, like around 10:30, and so by the time lunchtime came around, I wasn't hungry at lunchtime. So instead, I just had a small snack. But because I didn't have a proper lunch, I also forgot to give Luna her lunch. And so she didn't eat um, at lunchtime today. She had a breakfast this morning and then she ate everything else this evening. But I forgot to feed her and I felt really bad once I realized that. Because I don't think. I mean, that might have happened like once before, but after that first time, I've been very careful and like consistent and just making sure that she's fed every day at the right times. So I felt really bad because I realized it when we went on a walk. After my mum came home, we took Luna out for a walk, which was around like 4-ish. And while we were out, I realized that I didn't feed her. And I felt really bad. But I made sure to do it when we came back home. So, yeah. Honest mistake, but it happens sometimes. And, yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, it's been a pretty quiet day. Tomorrow is results day. At least results day for some people. The people who are awaiting their A levels. Here in the UK, there's a bunch of different qualifications that you earn throughout your time in education. When you finish high school, you earn your GCSEs, and then you can choose to go on to A levels afterwards, which you usually get from doing college. So yeah, tomorrow, everyone who's awaiting their A level results will get them. And those are also the same people who I'll be living with and spending time with at university. Because unless you're really smart, you are not allowed to jump straight from high school into university. You have to be really smart, and you have to like be an overachiever, and like just yeah, it doesn't happen often. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to results day tomorrow because I'm hoping that I'll get to hear from a couple more people. I mean, it probably won't happen straight away. I'll be honest. Um, but throughout the rest of this week and next week, I'm expecting slash hoping to hear from people. Just anyone, because I still don't know anyone that I'll be living with. Um, yeah, I just want to meet them. That's all. But yeah, so that's tomorrow, and then yeah, what day is it tomorrow? What is it today? It's Wednesday today. Okay, so yeah. But speaking of results day, I remember my results day for high school back in 2016. Uh, it wasn't like a proper school day. By this point, we had all finished actually learning at school. We had already done our exams, but we all came back into school to collect our results. And I remember that day because it was the last day that I saw a lot of people and friends. And it was also like the catalyst that sent me into a not so happy period of my life. Um, yeah, I remember that day. I remember the feeling that everyone was sharing, like the nervous anticipation of finding out your results. Um, I too was feeling that way, but I don't think I was feeling it as strongly as other people because at the time I didn't really care, which sounds bad, and it is, I suppose. I mean, looking back now, I wish I had cared more about both my exams and also the results. Um, but I kind of knew that I didn't have high expectations because I hadn't done any revision or like studying for these exams. I was just going into them with some of the knowledge that I have picked up through my lessons at school. Because I didn't care. And I do regret that because maybe if I had cared more, I would have passed more of my subjects. Um, to my surprise, I still ended up passing enough subjects to basically not have to worry about like retaking any exams or anything. Like it's usually English and maths. If you fail those, you are required, I think, to retake them at a later date. But thankfully, I passed both of those. I passed all of the important ones, basically. Um, the ones I failed were, I think, I failed IT. We called it ICT, um, but it's just like computer class, basically. I failed that because, well, I remember struggling quite a lot in that class, to be honest, because I didn't really care for it, um, which is kind of surprising coming from someone like me who's grown up on technology and has spent so much time with technology and computers and stuff like that. I didn't care about IT or computers during school. Um, and I wasn't a huge fan of our teacher, but yeah, so I failed that one, but I kind of knew that anyway. I think I failed geography as well. because again, I just didn't really care about it. uh, when I was at school, I had the choice of um, doing a language, like a language class, or a religion class. And I chose geography. Those are like the three options. Because at the time, back then, I wasn't interested in language learning. Um, I suppose maybe it was because of the choices that I was presented with. Um, Usually here in the UK, because of our proximity to the countries, the two main options are French and Spanish. Um, I learned French in middle school, but that was compulsory. I didn't have a choice. And then there was an option to do French again in high school, but I chose not to because, like I said, I didn't really care at the time. Um, if other options were available, I might have been interested, but, well, now that I say that, probably not. Because I remember what kind of person I was like back then, and I didn't care enough, you know? So, yeah. So I failed geography, I failed computer class, and I think there was maybe like one or two others that I failed as well, but yeah, I was pretty happy with myself and also surprised that I managed to pass so many subjects. Obviously, other people around me passed like more, and others didn't pass as much, and it was a mix of emotion on that day. For me, I think I was overwhelmed with the thoughts and feelings, I suppose, of seeing everyone together for the last time. Like, that was the last day that we were all in the same place, all doing the same thing after years of doing it together, like doing school together. This was the last day. And I remember feeling quite sad because, well, a lot of people say that like high school was the worst time of their life. But looking back, now that I am older and honestly a completely different person, um, I can appreciate all of the time that I spent at school, like throughout all the years, not just high school. There were definitely, lows and days that I didn't want to go and, things like that. But, like, if you just think about it for a second, when you're at school, you you get to meet up with friends every single day, and you get to hang out together and learn together, which I think a lot of students take for granted. It's it's a time in your life that you'll never be able to relive again. Like, there are constantly relationships being built, and like friendships are gained, and like sometimes lifelong friendships, like it's the perfect time to just enjoy life, because it's your only responsibility is to go to school. And that's it. That's all you have to do for that period of your life. And a lot of people, myself included, took it for granted. So, and also that's like, I'm saying that while also considering those bad moments, the times when I was feeling overly stressed or anxious or, whatever else. I was also bullied for a short period of time while I was at school. That wasn't fun. But, I'm overall the idea of going to school for me is something that I wish I had taken more seriously and not taken for granted. But with all that being said, I'm hoping that when I go to university soon, I'll be able to relive some of that. And it's kind of the underlying message that I sent when I applied to the university. My whole motivation, I guess, is to start anew. I wish to start over. And I know, obviously, I can't actually start over, but I can recreate it fairly closely. I have chosen a course that will basically put me at the same stage as a child who's just gone to school for the first time. If that makes any sense at all. So the course I'm doing is a language course. And what's one of the first things you do in life? You learn a language. And that's what you do at school. And that's what I'm doing now. So I'm kind of mimicking that period of my life, if that makes any sense. And, I will be forming relationships with people, forming friendships with people. I'll be meeting new people every day. I'll get to eventually hang out with some friends that I make. It's kind of the same, but not the same. I hope that makes sense, but that was my logic. And that's what I'm hoping to get out of it. We'll just see what happens, I suppose. Wow, I went on a bit of a tangent there. I don't even remember what I was originally talking about. But you know what? That's just how my brain works sometimes. So, I'm not even going to put effort into trying to remember what I was talking about. I'm just going to leave it there, I think. And I will thank you for listening to this drivel. This just seemingly nonsense coming out of my brain. Yeah, I don't know. Regardless, I appreciate you being here, listening, and I'll be back tomorrow for more of it, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you shortly. Good night.